Okay, that's good. Because what we're trying to have, we're gonna have like an hybrid class because we have some people with us in the class, and you're gonna be on the Zoom and with some other students. Okay? If you have like an issue, let us know. Okay?
Okay.
So, how are you guys doing? You said? What is it? No, that's why you're here. So the class is going to be an English class. We're not gonna speak Creole. We're not gonna speak French. It's gonna be English only, like 100% English. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Bob Jeffler. I'm an educator and also an English teacher. Okay? So we're gonna start with the introduction. We're gonna introduce ourselves. What about you? What's your name? Joseph Tamara. That's good. We have Joseph Tamara. And what about you?
My name is
Eulens. Just Eulens?
Joyce.
Okay. How do I spell that? U? L? What else? E? N? S? And very small. Okay. And so we have Neisa Luima. Is it that right?
Yes, Neisa.
That's good. Neisa Luima. And we also have, can you spell your name? Can you say your name for us, please?
Harry LeBlanc.
Okay. Harry LeBlanc. That's awesome. That's good. So, my first question will gonna be the same. Why do you wanna study English? Why do you wanna learn English? Can you start with you, Miss Neisa? Tell me the reason why you're taking this class.
I'm learning English because I love English, and I think that gonna help me for travel. I don't know.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What about you, Mr. Eulens? Why are you coming here to learn English? Don't be shy. It's not a class to be shy. You know, don't be afraid to talk, okay?
I love English.
You love English. That's good. That's good. What about you, Mr. LeBlanc? Why are you taking English class then?
I love English.
Okay.
Me too.
That's good. And we also have Miss Gustave. Tell us why you're taking this English class.
I love English.
That's good. That's good. Miss Tamara, tell us why you're taking this class. Why you come here? That's awesome. I can accept that because everybody loves English. Because English, like I always say, it's like it's a commercial language, and right now it's the language that people use to study. Okay, people use it to study whenever they take like online classes from let's say English country like Australia, Canada, the United States. This learning process are taught in English. That's why people want to master English. They want to seize opportunity in the future, right? So we're gonna start this class. Today I'm gonna try to see your level because we didn't take any tests. So You guys didn't take any test, so I have to see who's advanced, who's intermediate, who's going to the beginner class, so I can separate you next class for your proper group. Okay? So we're gonna start with the basics. So let's walk in. This class is divided, like I always say, into 6 sections. So we're gonna have the speaking part. What are we gonna do in the speaking part? This is the moment for you to practice, to take the time to talk to your teacher or your classmate. It might be like your Zoom classmate, or if you are in the physical area of this class, so you can talk to your partner, so we can work in group. Never, you guys cannot be shy, because it's not a place to be shy, okay? So you need to take the opportunity to talk. You don't know something, you raise your hand, you say, teacher, help me with this, help me with that, okay? So if you don't know something, but don't be afraid to pronounce a word that you might think that is not correct. No. If you pronounce it, they say the wrong way, I will tell you the right way to say it, okay? And we also gonna have we're gonna ask you to come in front of the camera or in front of the class to try to express yourself. So that's why the speaking part gonna help you. We're also gonna have the listening part. The listening section is going to be conducted on a website that is called ReadWork. ReadWork. One second. ReadWork. And try to fix my handwriting. Readwork.com. So we're gonna use this website for the listening and also the reading part. It's going to be listening and reading part. Reading section. So what are we gonna do on this website? So I'm gonna assign you to a class, like a virtual class. So I'm gonna post let's say text to read. And while you're gonna read the text, so we'll be able to listen to the text, because it's gonna be like you're gonna hear the audio file, and also you will be able to read it. Okay? So you guys going to the readwork.com. So I'm gonna assign you to a class. So whenever you are at home, so you're gonna be using your cell phone, so you can read some text. It's for the reading part. So you're gonna have like text and audio. Okay? So we have the speaking, the listening, the reading, and we will have like the writing part. Writing. We'll have grammar section. And we'll have like the vocabulary section. Okay? So it's gonna be like 6 sections. Okay? 6 sections. Speaking, listening, reading, writing, grammar, and vocabulary. Okay? Any questions so far? Any question? Any question? That's good. And what is gonna be our schedule? Our schedule will be on Friday, like today, from 9 to 11 a.m. And also we're gonna have a class on Tuesday. So it's going to be every Tuesday and Friday. So it's gonna be Tuesday and Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay? Okay? Is everybody, you had this schedule, right? You had this schedule, Mr. Airy? Yeah, from every Tuesday and Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. That's going to be our schedule, okay? Now, let me make the difference. Some of you are taking like the English class just for English because you want to study English. But some of you are taking the English class because you are in another program, okay? So for those of you who are taking strictly English class, you're gonna have like more work, like more assignments, okay? Because you come here for English, okay? But there are other students who take the English class because they are registered in some other program, maybe in administrative management science, or I don't know, secretary or other program. They also taking English class because it's mandatory in their program. But they're gonna have like less assignment, okay? But for you, you only major in English, so you're gonna have like more assignment, more homework, okay? You understand that, Mr.? I keep forgetting your name. Ulens, yes. Do you understand that, Miss Neisa?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, that's good. And what about you, Mr. Airy?
I'm okay.
Yeah, so the schedule is good, okay?
Yeah, it's good.
That's good. So whenever we're gonna work on with work, so I'm gonna give you a username. Let's say later on today, you're gonna have a username and a password. It's gonna be the same for you. You're gonna have a username and a password, okay? So let's start with our first class today. We are going to have our first grammar class. It's gonna be like the basic stuff, okay? But we need to dive into the basic stuff because we need them in the future so we can build our foundation, okay? So our first class is gonna be based in, we're gonna use, let's say, the pronoun and the personal pronoun. I know you know them, but we're gonna just make a quick review of them, okay? The pronoun. Also gonna use like the personal pronoun. I know you know them in French, okay? But we're gonna review them. Can you start with the first personal pronoun for us, Mr. Airy?
Pronoun?
Yeah, the personal pronoun.
I am.
No, we're not gonna use the verb, just the pronoun, I. What about you, Miss Neisa, the second one? It's gonna be a quick review.
You.
You. What is it? You. Yeah, that's good. Miss Tama, she, that's good. Miss Gustave, can you keep follow? The next one? We're missing the one for the animal on the thing. So it's still gonna be there. Yes. Okay, we are having like a issue with the mic, I think. And no, we're talking about the pronoun only, not the verb. Yeah, Mr. Eric, help us here. Help us here. We try to move fast. Not gonna waste time on this. I know you know them. Miss Neisa, can you help us here?
We.
Mr. Airy? is it? No.
R.
No. You. That's good.
You.
Yes. And the last one, the final one.
There.
What is it?
There.
They.
They.
That's good. So whenever we start learning English, so we need to know the pronoun. Because we're gonna like structures, like we're gonna have like sentence structures. So it's not gonna be all the time that we're gonna have to use like a personal name or personal object name. So we need to know the pronoun so we can make better sentences. We can structure better sentences. Okay. So whenever I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm not gonna keep saying Bob, Bob, Bob. I have to say I because that's the formal way to say it. So let's say I want to tell you that I'm a teacher. So I have to use I. Say, okay, my name is Bob, but I am a teacher. I'm not gonna say Bob is a teacher. It's not a proper way to say it. So I have to replace my name with a pronoun. So I have to say I am a teacher. I'm not gonna say Bob. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so you have to know your pronoun whenever you talk about yourself, or whenever you're talking about, let's say, about something else, or whenever you're talking to someone else. You need to replace that person. Let's say I'm talking to you. Okay, let's say I'm talking to you, Mr. Airy, and I say, okay, Airy, you know. I'm not gonna say Airy. No, I have to say Airy. You know, I have to replace Airy by this pronoun, so he can know that I'm talking to himself, to him. So let's say I'm talking to Ari about Miss Neisa. I'm gonna say, oh, we have this student, Mr. Ari. She came to the class. I'm not gonna say Neisa come to the class. I have to replace Miss Neisa by one of the pronouns. So if I go to the third person, so he is gonna replace any male subject that I have. Let's say we're talking about a man or a boy. So I have to replace that boy or that man with he. If I'm talking about a female subject, let's say it can be a girl, a woman, a whole lady, whomever. So I have to replace it by she. So that's why I need to know the personal pronoun. And whenever I'm talking about a thing, an idea, an animal, I have to replace it with it. Let me give you some example. When I say an idea, let's say, I don't know, someone who, not gonna use the word patriotism, because this word is like hard to pronounce. I'm gonna use something else like violence. Okay, if I want to talk about violence, it's not violence. It's not let's say violence. It's not an animal. Violence is not a person, but violence is an idea, something that you cannot touch. Okay, but it can be replaced by it. Okay, let's say I want to say violence is not acceptable in this school. Okay? Violence is not acceptable in this school. Okay, so if I have to, replace the subject, which is violence, so I have to use the personal pronoun it, the third person. But violence is not an animal. Violence is not a person. Violence is not a man or a woman. Violence is an idea. It's an ideology. Okay, so I have to replace violence by it. So it, like I said earlier, you use it for animal, you use it for a thing, let's say a table, a chair, you also use it for an ideology. Okay? So let's move to the next one. The next one is we. We is very tricky. We is like the first plural person that we have in French. Okay? So whenever we're talking about we, you have to know that you are part of it. So if I'm gonna say we, I am in this we. So inside of we, you're gonna find I plus
We have.
something else. Okay? It might be Mr. Ulens, it might be Mr. Mara, it might be Mr. Harry. But whenever I'm talking, I'm gonna use we. I know me, the one who's let's say making the sentence or making the action. I'm also part of it with at least someone else. Might be two other, might be two other subjects. But I know that first thing that I have to know is I'm part of the we. So whenever I say we, I am in it. Plus someone else. Plus a group of other subject that I don't know. Okay? It might be 10, it might be 20 subjects, but I know I'm one of them. So that's in the case that we use we. Okay? So whenever you use we, you have to know it's plural. It's not one person, but it's more than that. Okay? So the tricky one is you, because it's the same spelling as the you that you have in the first group, because it's the same spelling as the singular one. So whenever you use you, the plural one, you have to know that the interlocutor that is in front of you is part of it, but you're not part of it. Me, I'm the one talking to you right now, but I'm not part of this we, of this you. The other person that is in front of me is part of it. The person might be explaining me something, is part of it, but is not alone in this situation. I have someone else or more than one other subject. Okay, and the final one is the you, is the they. What is the they? The day. Mr. Eulens, tell us, how can you use the day? Because it's an interactive class. I'm not going to be the one, talking all the time. So you guys going to have to help me, okay? Do you understand, Mr. Ari?
Yes.
It's an interactive class. That's the name of the school. It's an interactive academy. So you guys have to participate in the class. Okay? So tell me how to use the day, Miss Neisa. Tell me.
We can use they.
Yes.
when we talk about other people.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So whenever we're talking about like a group, but a third person group that is not a part of our conversation, so we try to show the person who's in front of us. So we use they, but we know it's plural. It's not one person, it's more than one person. So it's a group at least. So we have at least two subjects or more. So we use it. Okay? That's all for our personal pronoun. So guys, if you have any questions, be glad to ask. I'll be glad to answer them if you ask. Questions? Mr. Eric, question? You have to participate, Miss Gustav, any question? Yes. No, I'm sorry. Let me tell you why we cannot speak Creole in the class. Let's say you move to Canada and you take an English class, okay? You're not gonna find a teacher that's gonna, teach you in Creole or in French. You're gonna have to, try to make some, some sentence in English. We don't speak Creole here. We don't speak French. I'm sorry. That's the way it's going to be. You're never gonna hear me speak Creole to you or French. That's the way you're gonna learn, okay? So if you have something to say, take your time. We're not on hurry. We have our time. We are patient. Take your time and try to explain it in English. It doesn't have to be good English, so we're gonna try to understand you, okay? I'm sorry, that's the same thing, you know? Whenever I'm here, I don't understand Creole, I don't understand French, okay? So try to, you know, say something. I'm all here. Say the word. Just say a word. I will try to understand you. Just one word, that will be good. Okay? That's the way you're gonna learn. Believe me, that's the way you're gonna speak English. Okay? Say something. I know you know a few words. If you have a question, raise your hand and say a word. I don't mind, okay? Yeah, say it. No, you can't be quiet. You have to say something. You wanted to say something. Say it. I don't want you to be shy. Don't be shy, okay? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I know that, but that's the way we're gonna learn. Okay? Like I said, if you were, let's say, in another country, you didn't know I speak Creole, you would have not tried to, you know, to express yourself in Creole to me because you wouldn't know. Okay? So what we're gonna try to do is, if you have something, you can Google it, try to translate it, and try to say it. I don't mind with that, okay? But we're not gonna speak any Creole or any French in this class. That's the rule, okay? Do you guys understand, Mr. Harry?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, I know Miss Nate. I already see that Miss Nate can make some effort, but that's the rule of the class. We're not gonna speak any Creole or any French, okay? Okay, that's good. You have something. Say something. Try to say it in English. Try to say the word, whatever it is. I'll be happy to hear it. Anything? Yeah, so you don't worry, you will understand later on. So like I said, it's an hybrid class, okay? I'm trying to explain to you, to those who are on the Zoom, what is happening right now. In this class, we have students who are in front of me right now, okay? They are taking like the class in the school, okay? And you guys are taking the class online. So that means we have a mixed group of students. Those who are online, okay? And those who are physically in the class. That's called, you know, like both systems are working right now. So sometimes we're gonna ask some students who are physically present to, you know, to answer a question, so they can ask a question. But in the future, you'll be able to see them. For today, we're not gonna be able to see them. Let me show. Let me try to do something. I don't know if it's going to work. So you guys can say hi to your classmate who are present. So those are the other students in the class, okay? Who are taking the class physically, okay? So that's why it's called an hybrid, okay? You guys say hi. I know you wanted to say hi, Mr. Harry. So we're gonna move to the next part of the lesson. It's going to be the verb, like I know you know, the verb to be, okay? Any idea about the verb to be? Yes? So why do we use the verb to be? Why do we use it? Why do we use it? To be. In what situation do we use the verb to be? Ms. Gustave, any idea about when to use the verb to be?
I am.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to know. I'm trying to explain to the class why do we use the verb to be? In what situation do we use the verb to be? Mr. Harry, any idea why do we use the verb to be? When to use it? When to use the verb to be? Miss Neisa, can you help us here?
You can use to be for talking about yourself or
Okay, that's good.
talking about someone.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. We can say that. So whenever we talk about yourself, you try to explain, like, try to express a state of, let's say, you try to, let's say you wanna, let's say I'm gonna ask you the question, but you don't have to answer me like properly. So I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna ask you your age. I'm gonna ask about your age. Let's say, Mr. Airy, I wanna know about your age. It's okay? So I say, I'm gonna ask Mr. Airy's age. Don't tell me your real age. I'm just gonna ask you the questions. So you know. So Mr. Airy, how old are you? Yes. How old are you? The question is. How old are you? Don't tell me your real age, okay? Just the question, just so we can practice the verb to be. So I'm asking about your age, okay?
And Caesar.
Yeah, but Mr. Yes, you know, so you have to try to say it in English. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you the same question, Mr. Eulens. I'm trying to establish when to use the verb to be. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. How old are you, Mr. Eulens? What is it?
23 ans.
Yes, so you're gonna tell me, you're just gonna say the age, but whenever I'm asking you a question, like it has to be like, you have to say it like in a formal way. So you have to make like a sentence, okay? Miss Neisa, I'm not asking you your real age, so I'm just trying to establish, you raise your hand, okay? Let's say, how old are you, Miss Neisa?
I think I am 20 or I'm 11. I mean,
Yes, so in this case, we have to use the verb to be, Mr. Eulens. Say, so I am, and you're gonna add your proper age. So let's say Miss Neisa said she's like, she's 27, just an idea, okay? Let's say Miss Neisa said, let's use Miss Neisa said she's 27, okay? So instead of just saying the age, like 27 years, we're gonna use the verb to be to establish the situation about our age. So I'm asking you, how old are you? There's the verb here, and that's my answer. It also comes with the verb to be, like here. So whenever we're gonna express our age, our identity, let's say we're gonna talk about our noun, our name, our, let's say, career, we're gonna use the verb to be to express that, because we're gonna talk about ourselves, okay? So let's say I wanna tell you about myself, okay? My name is Bob Geoffroy. I am an English teacher. I'm also an educator, okay? So I'm also gonna use the verb to be to express whatever information I wanna provide you about myself, okay? So I am, let's say I'm 50 years old. I am, let's say I wanna talk about, let's say about my, let's say, my marital state. Let's say I wanna say I am a married person. I am single. So whenever you wanna express details about yourself, you're gonna use the verb to be, okay? So age, your situation. Let's say I wanna tell you how, let's say how high I am. Let's say I'm tall. I am, let's say 5'5". So I'm gonna express about myself. I'm gonna tell you about details. So I have to use the verb to be, okay? So we're gonna try to dive in the verb so you guys can understand, okay? So if we have to use the verb, so we also are gonna have the subject, because you know the verb cannot exist by itself. So you need to have like a subject that is, because the verb is an action. So you need a subject that is doing the action. So we also gonna use the pronoun that we worked on earlier. So I know you guys know that, okay? So what is gonna be the first one? Mr. Eulens? What about after I? I know you know that. The first one, Miss Tamara. That go after, that go with I. Yes, that am. Mr. Eulens. That's all. Mr. Leblanc, don't make me, you know. It's your turn.
He is.
Yeah, he, she, and it is. Okay, that's good. What about we? Miss Gustave?
We are.
Yes, we are. See you, Lance?
You are.
You are.
There.
Miss Deisa, the last one?
They or.
The pronunciation is going to be R, like an open R. When we're gonna have like pronunciation class, so we're gonna work on that with you. R, okay. That's good. So whenever we use the verb, so we're not talking about details, like talking about like giving some information. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna try to make some sentences, and I'm gonna ask some question about and you guys gonna have to answer the question using the verb to be. Okay. Let's say that we heard what Mr. Airy said. Okay, he said he was 26 years old. So the question I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Eulens, how old is Mr. Harry? You can rather use Mr. Harry as a subject, or you can replace it with a pronoun, which is going to be he, okay? Both can be used in this case. I just want you to start using the verb to be, because you guys are a low beginner, so I'm gonna work on that, okay? So, the question go for you, Mr. Eulens. How old is Mr. Harry?
Mr. Harry?
Yes, because he said that earlier. He told us how old he was. So try to, I want the answer, but I want to use the verb to be in the answer. So you can use Mr. Harry as a subject, or you can replace the subject by he. Okay?
Mr. Harry.
Good. Mr. Harry.
Here.
What is it?
Here.
You don't. You can choose one of them, so you cannot use both. You can choose Mr. Harry, or you can say E. It's up to you. Now try to answer the question. I already said that you were, let's say, 26 or something. It's all that I remember. I don't know if my mind is good. Yeah, good. What else? Yes. The number is 26. Yes.
26.
Yes. Yes. Good. 26 years. There's something missing. Whenever we say 26 years, we don't know what it can be. 26 years of, I don't know, of a president, of a mandate of the president. Okay? So whenever you're expressing age, so you have to use the word old, so people can know that you are talking about his age, not the mandate of a president or I don't know or anything else. Okay? So if we were to answer this question, how old is Mr. Airy? Since we know Mr. Airy is 26 years old. Okay? That's good. So Mr. Airy, the same question is going for you. Is going to you, I'm sorry. How old is Mr. Eulens? How old? I'll try to, try to
Mr.
get.
Ulan.
Yes, try to guess something. You don't have to give me the proper age.
Ulan is 27-year-old.
Yeah, so we're gonna say Mr. Eulens is 27 years old. Okay, so we are talking about Mr. Eulens in this case. Mr. Eulens is 27 years old. Yes.
Okay.
Let's say we're gonna talk about something else now, but we're still gonna work on age, Let's talk about, let's say, let me find a good example. Let's see. Let's say we have a question like that, okay? How old are the Jakut #1 musicians? Are we talking about one person? Mr. Harry, are we talking about one person? Let's say I'm using this question. How old are the Jakut #1 musicians? Are we talking about one person?
It's me.
Yes. Let's say the sentence go like this. How old are the Jakut #1 musicians? In this case, are we talking about one person or?
The Jakut #1 musician is 10-year-old.
Okay. So that's why I wanted to establish. So whenever we're talking about we can use this sentence in this case as a group or as several members. Are you following, Miss Neisa?
Yes.
So in this case, because I use the word musicians, I was talking about specifically the musicians, not the band. So you can answer like we were talking about a group, or we can answer like we're gonna answer them separately, like each member of the group. Okay. So in this case, let's say we're using like the members of the group. Like we cannot answer like it's a group. Okay. So it's not one person. We're talking about musicians. Okay. So we're gonna have to establish, like, let's say, like the lead singer. How old is it? I don't know. The other musicians in the band. So we're not gonna answer like it was like just one person. So we have to establish like the age for each member of the group. Okay. So we might gonna have to use the pronoun they, Mr. Harry, instead of the group is. So the jacket number of musician, let's say 20, 50. It depends of each member, because we were talking about musicians, not the group. I understand why you answer like that. You try to answer it like it was the group, okay? But in this way, we were talking about musicians, okay? Are you okay with that, Mr. Harry? So yes. So if we are talking about they, about the musicians, so we have to use they and we have to use are, because we're not talking about one group, but we are talking specifically about the musicians. Okay? So whenever we're gonna have like the plural, we need to use the verb to be on its plural form. Okay? So let's go back to it. So you done? You copy? You can take note. You done? You finished? No. Okay, you can keep take note. So if you guys want to take note, so you can ask me, if you want to write down something. So just say, teacher, just don't erase it yet, so I will, share some time for you to take note, okay? Give me 1 second. You good? That's good. So we had I am, we had are, we had e, we had are, we had are, and we had are. Okay? So the first one, like we said, we use it to express detailed information about ourselves. Okay? But we also use the verb to be to express a position that you find yourself in. Let's say right now I'm gonna ask you a question. It's not gonna be, it cannot be applied to you. It can be applied to you guys who are on the Zoom, okay? But let's say we're gonna talk about a physical position. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Eulens, where are you now? Yes, so, try, yes. Okay, you are. Keep working on that. Yes. So you are in the school. So whenever we're talking about a position, okay, a position that you find yourself in. Okay. Let's say Miss Neisa right now. Where are you, Miss Neisa?
I am at home.
Yes, you are at home. Okay? So Miss Neisa is at home because she's taking the class online. But she's finding herself in a situation that she is at home. So we have to to use the verb to be whenever we're talking about a position, a physical position. Mr. Harry, I don't know where he is. He might be at home too, or he might be at work. Mr. Harry might be in at his grandma's house, or I don't know, his friend's house, but he is at some physical position. So whenever we're gonna express the position, the physical position, we're gonna have to use the verb to be. I am in the class right now. I am at Hila Academy, like you said, okay? So we're gonna use the verb to be, okay? That's another way to use the verb to be. That's for the position. Earlier we said it was about information, personal information, okay? Personal details or information. Let's use the word information instead. Personal, you say, information. You're gonna use info, okay? And we also use the verb to be to express a state of mind, a state of personality, the way you are right now. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Harry. Tell me something. Oh no, I'm not gonna say it like that. Let's say I want to know the state of mind of Mr. Harry right now. Are you happy right now, Mr. Harry? Or are you sad?
Yes, I'm happy.
Okay, so I want to know if Mr. Harry is like laughing or something exciting about his life. So when I asked him the question, he said that he is happy. So his state of mind right now, let's say state of mind or personality. Okay? So whenever we try to tell like some information about our personality, our state of mind, I said, I am happy. See? I'm very happy. Or something is bothering me, something is making me crying, so I am sad. Like, that's, we use the verb to be to express that too. If I want to say that, oh, I don't feel good, okay? I want to say that I am sick, okay? I want to tell Miss Neisa that I don't feel okay. I have like a terrible headache, okay? In this situation, my state is that I'm not okay. I am sick, so I have to say that I am sick. In this case, I am going to use the verb to be because I'm trying to express the way I feel, the way I am, okay? So I am sick. That means I'm not okay. I have like something bothering me. It might be a disease or an infection or anything, okay? But the situation I'm trying to express is that I am sick. That's my state, okay? That's my situation. And when I mention personality might be like someone who's shy. Let's say that you want to tell someone who is smart, okay? Let's say that Mr. Eulens is a very brilliant person. He's a brilliant guy. So I want to tell Miss Tamara about Mr. Eulens. I say, oh, Mr. Eulens is a smart guy. Okay? So I want to talk about Mr. Eulens, but I want to tell Miss Neisa or Mr. Harry or Miss Tamara that, or Miss Gustav that Mr. Eulens is very brilliant, you know? He has knowledge, he has skills. So I have to use the verb to be, you know, to express anything that I want to say about Mr. Eulens, okay? So Mr. Eulens is smart, is a genius, so I have to use the verb to be, okay? Maybe he's clever. And also when I'm talking about personality, let's say I want to say that is someone who don't like to speak, is a very let's say an introvert person, someone who don't, express his feeling. So let's say Mr. Eulens, or let's say Mr. Ari. Mr. Ari is an introvert. You know what that means, an introvert? You know what that means, Mr. Ari, an introvert? Mr. Eulens, do you know what that means, an introvert? You don't know what that means? Miss Neisa, do you know what that means, an introvert?
No.
Okay. An introvert is someone who don't, is not socially engaged, like someone who like to stay at home, who doesn't have a lot of friends. If he goes out, he doesn't talk that much, He doesn't have a lot of friends. He doesn't have like a lot of social interaction. He don't talk to people, okay? He doesn't talk to people. He like to, to stay in places by himself. That's an introvert. Someone who's shy but who don't interact. You understand, Mr. Eulens? Like an introvert, like someone. If you invite him to a party, he come to the party. He doesn't talk. He stay in his corner. You understand, Mr. Ari?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, an introvert. You have an idea? What is that? Yeah, an introvert. Like someone, he doesn't like to talk that much. He doesn't have a lot of friends. And whenever you go out, so you don't socialize that much. Okay? So, Miss Neisa, do you have an idea what it is?
Yes,
You understand?
I understand.
So what about you guys? Do you understand what is introvert? Let's say that, okay, I'm an introvert. I'm like this. Whenever you talk to me, I don't answer. And I stay at my corner, If I go to a party, everybody's partying, I stay at the corner, at my table. I don't engage in social interaction. I don't talk to people, okay? That's an introvert, okay? What is the opposite of introvert, Mr. Ari?
It's not happy.
What is it?
Mr. Ari is not happy.
No, I mean the opposite, like the opposite of that. Miss Neisa, any idea? I'm gonna let you work on that to find it.
No.
No, shy is the same thing as introvert. Someone who's shy is like a part of being introvert, because most of the time people who are introvert, they are shy people, okay? But I want you to, let's say that you don't want to say that the person is introvert. I want the opposite of it. It's very easy, It's like in French. Whenever you remove the prefix, so you're gonna use another one. Any idea? So an introvert is someone who's like, is very, very shy, who only turn to himself. So the opposite of it is like, you're gonna use the word. It's an extrovert. That's the opposite of it, okay? Someone who's, always, interact with people, who's not afraid of, expressing himself. So that's an extrovert, okay? Which is different, which is the opposite of the introvert, okay? So if I want to tell you about someone is like personality, might be an introvert and extrovert, That depends, okay? Did you get it, Miss Neisa? You get it?
Yes, I
Okay.
got it.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Introvert? Yes. Tell me something. You have to tell me something. You know.
No.
So far, nothing. You don't know. What about you, Mr. Harry? Because
I don't know.
because it's whenever we are taking like a grammar class, so we also gonna have like some new words, some new vocabularies that we're gonna add. That's the way you're gonna raise your the knowledge about vocabulary. So okay, I'm gonna try to explain it to you. Okay, Mr. Harry, do you have a lot of friends?
What?
Do you have a lot of friends? Do you have friends?
Yes.
Okay. You have them from school? From where exactly? From your neighbor? From your neighborhood?
This is good.
Yeah, from the school. What about you, Mr. Eulens? Do you have friends? Yes, tell me. Do you have friends? Same question for you, Miss Tamara. Do you have friends?
Yes, I have.
You have friends. That's good. You have friends? Tell me something. You can say no, I don't have friends, or you can say yes, I have friends. Okay, it's depending. Okay, do you have friends? Yes, I have friends. Mr. Airy,
Wait.
do you go out with them? Like you go party, like in some, do you go out
Yes, I'm good.
a lot? The question was, do you go out? What I want
Yes.
yes, I want to know if you go out with your friends, like you go to clubs, you go to let's say clubs, you go to parties. Do you go to this kind of stuff?
Yes, I go out.
Okay. So whenever you go out,
I go out with
yes, yeah, club parties and
with my friends.
with your friends. So do you engage, like you enjoy the time whenever you go there?
Yes, yes.
So if you enjoy that, you're not shy, okay? So you're not an introvert, because whenever we're talking about an introvert, it's a person who don't do this kind of thing. An introvert usually they stay at home. An introvert usually, whenever you say that, let's go out, you can say no, I'm not going out, because introvert most of the time they don't like people, they don't like groups, okay? They don't like being part of groups, okay? Same thing for you, Mr. Elens. Do you go out?
No.
Do you go to parties?
No.
So how do you interact? How do you talk with your friends?
Play PlayStation videos.
So you usually play at home with them, yeah? So in this case, you might be an introvert, but you don't know that. So you might be someone, who stay at home, who play video games with his friends, but you don't go out that much and you don't talk that much. You might be an introvert, okay? What about you, Miss Neisa? Are you an introvert or an extrovert? We try to know.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not an introvert. So you go out, you talk to people, you interact.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In this case, Miss Neisa want to say what she want to say is that she talk to people. Okay. She's not afraid of talking to people, and she like interacting with people. She might not be an introvert. She might be an extrovert. We don't know yet, okay? But like she said, she's not an introvert. An introvert is like someone, who stay in his corner, who don't go out. Like you said, might stay at home, play video games all the time, read books or use his computer, but don't like interact with people. Okay, so you understand now. What about you, Miss Tama? Do you go out? Like you go to club parties? You go to clubs, that's good. You have friends. You have friends, you said, right? You said that earlier. Okay, so whenever someone is talking to you, do you interact? Like you talk to people? Like you talking to them? Do you do that? Like talk to them. Yes. Are you shy? You're like, oh no, don't talk to me. Are you like this? Or do you you interact with the person? Which one? Yeah. No, I'm trying to know. Listen. Okay. You said you go to clubs. Okay. You have friends. Okay. If you go out, you have friends. So I already have an idea. You might not be an introvert. But I want to know if you interact, because some introvert might go out. Whenever they go out, they stay at their table. They don't move. They sit there for the whole, for the whole thing. So they don't interact with people. But in this case, we're gonna see later on. Okay. So the opposite of it is like to be an extrovert. Okay. But we are talking about the position, and also in what situation do we use the verb? Okay. So what is it? So you guys have to leave at 11. You said. You guys have to leave at 11. Yeah. Today we're gonna end the class will resume short. We're gonna end the class shortly. Okay. So, because today was just an introduction, okay? So our real class, we're gonna start it by Tuesday, okay? So today we wanted to introduce ourselves and start with the first grammar class. And today, after the class, I'm gonna send you your username and your password, so you can start reading your reading section, okay? So I'm not gonna hold you that long for today, okay? Don't worry about that. So the class we're gonna edit shortly, because we were late because we were trying to do some arrangement, because it was our first presentation. But by Tuesday we're gonna start our regular class, okay? What I'm gonna try to do after that, I'm gonna send you your username and your password so you can register with the read word, so you can start receiving some assignment and some instruction. And whenever we have the class, so online or you guys are here, you can ask directly questions. If you have like some issues with the software, so you can send a text on WhatsApp, so to tell us that you have some issues. And if you want to ask some question after the class, send us some text on WhatsApp, so we'll be glad to answer them. Okay. So since we were late, we are sorry about that. So we had like some technical issue to send the class live. And by Tuesday, we're gonna be on time. So I hope that you guys are gonna be on time, okay? So I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna send you a video after that so you can watch at home. So for those of you who are watching the class at home, and also for those of you who are in the class, you can I'm gonna send you the YouTube link so you can watch the video after, okay? So that's the way it's gonna work, okay? So for the first class, I'm gonna ask you the question: how was it? How did you feel about it? We're gonna start with you, Miss Neisa. So how was the first class?
Very how can I say that?
Yes, tell us something.
It was very interesting.
Good.
Yes.
But it seems it's not the first time you're taking online class.
Yes.
Is it the first time you're taking Zoom class?
Yes.
Oh, that's very clever of you, because I saw that you are raising hand on the software and everything. That's good.
Okay. Thank you.
What about you, Mr. Airy? How was the first class?
I'm very happy. It's okay. They go.
For the class, okay. That's good. What about you, Miss Tamara? How was the first class? Tell me something. I want to know. How was it? What about you, Mr. Eulens?
Really interesting.
Okay. That?
French is missing.
Yeah, French is missing. No, we're not gonna have any French. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're not gonna have any French. Okay. So that's the way you're gonna learn. You know, you're gonna practice English until you speak English. You can speak. You know. Okay, English is like at a very nice level. Okay. So I think it's all for today. Class is dismissed. So I'll see you Tuesday. Okay. Bye bye, and have a great afternoon. Okay.
Thanks, teacher.
Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good.